Our exploration of the Industrial Revolution begins in late 18th century Britain. Change was due for Britain, who were mainly on agricultural practices, and change well and truly came at the end of the 18th century. The transformation could be accredited to a lot of factors, but it was brought about by a series of inventions and advancements that made the production process mechanized. These inventions were popping up in multiple industries, and it only led to fueling the shift from traditional old-school manual labor to the state-of-the-art mechanized factories. Yes, there was really a time not long ago where everything wasn't done by machines. Crazy, right? Anyway, during this period, Britain's urban landscape was beginning to change. Populations in big cities were booming. When this was paired with the demand for industrial labor, it was the spark that started the establishment of industrial centers. What once was a society run on cottage industries became an urban smogland of factories and mills. Technological innovations. The era of new technological innovations had arrived, and its impact on the workplace was nothing short of revolutionary. It all began with the magical spinning jenny, a machine that essentially allowed one worker to spin multiple threads simultaneously. Sounds like a basic high schooler's invention, but in the 18th century, it was a game changer. Multiple other inventions followed suit, like the spinning mule, which was like the spinning jenny but a bit more advanced and had different uses. Either way, they both reduced the reliance on manual labor, and they started the trend of large-scale production. Next came the steam engine. A man named James Watt had found a way to engineer the steam engine so that it could play a role in industrial operations. And this is where the game truly changed. The use of these engines to power machines eliminated some of the constraints that manual labor posed. This shift absolutely skyrocketed the productivity and efficiency within the factories. But it doesn't end there. The steam engine completely changed transportation. Railways run by steam trains became the new way of moving goods and, well, people also. The use of trains to distribute raw materials to factories and then finished products to consumers completely changed how businesses operated and led to fast growth for businesses who jumped on the opportunity. Economic transformation. The Industrial Revolution was transforming Britain, and as the 19th century began, it showed no sign of slowing down. Industrial production was continuing to rise, and it was starting to overshadow agriculture, which had once been people's primary source of employment and wealth. So people in rural areas wanted their piece of the industrial pie and began migrating to the cities. Britain was becoming a lot more urban, and cities like London and Liverpool and many more were populating like crazy. The factories were on the rise, and you could start to see it. Cities began to look a bit unbreathable, to say the least. But the revolution didn't care, and it wasn't slowing down for nobody. Production across many industries was innovating, and it led to higher production volumes, lower prices, and greater accessibility to goods. Not just in Britain, they were hitting global markets, and by the mid-19th century, the British Empire was the world's leading industrial and economic force. Spread of the revolution. Britain's success and the entire nature of the Industrial Revolution had sparked other nations into action. The wave of revolution was flooding into Europe, the United States, and beyond. It brought about massive changes everywhere it went. In the early 19th century, the United States set out on their industrial path. They were following the blueprint that Britain had set out, and as expected, it was working. The American landscape was changing, exactly like it did for the British. Factories, steam engines, the whole 9 yards. Over in Europe, the revolution wave was also flooding various countries. France, neighbors to Britain, were also following the blueprint, alongside Germany, the opportunists who felt like they could take what was working and expand on it, and they did. With the revolution expanding across the globe, new inventions and advancements were being found, and it just continued the growth of the Industrial Revolution. What started in Britain was now spreading across the whole globe. The wider impact. As the Industrial Revolution continued, its impacts went far past just economics. It was completely changing how people lived, worked, and even interacted. The rise of factory production led to social and demographic shifts, with more and more people flooding from rural to urban areas. but it was also an era of massive innovation. The revolution was a mix of opportunity and challenge. The revolution did create more workplace opportunities, but they were very harsh labor conditions and led to some inequalities. Social reform movements and labor unions were rising in response to the issues brought by industrialization. This era has completely shaped the world we live in today. Just take a look around you and see how many things are factory-made, with machines that would never have been thought possible if not for the Industrial Revolution and the innovation that it brought with it. That's all. Hit subscribe for more content in the future. See you next time. Now get out of here.